So this video is my way of giving back and doing some goodwill, hopefully, to other people preparing for hurricanes and storms, that kind of thing, where you happen to have insurance requirements of putting up some type of shutter system. I got the astroguard, ordered these from Home Depot. It is, I don't know, kind of expensive, but they're really lightweight. I've had 4 or 5 different shutter systems over the years, and I must say I really like this. I like the whole system. So I have a concrete block house, eastern coast of Florida, and we go through about once a year where we get a big scare and they chase everyone off, and it's usually kind of tight for time, so it's good to have a good system in place. Anyhow, so these come with this two-way clamp thing, and you can see you got to kind of measure your openings. Home Depot sells the standard sizes, so you pretty much follow the guide. But for me, ours was 4 inches, about 4 inches from the edge of the window here. So the first one I did took me 3 hours, and then the next 3 took 3 hours, because you learn. But what I did was you install the one upper corner, and then pull it tight, and then check on the bottom, and then find out where you want to install the other top edge, pulling it taut, and then you can drop it down. And then what I was doing is I was kind of measuring about over 4 inches. But if it's 5, 6, 7, I don't think, if you're opening smaller, you just got to make sure you have 4 inches on either side. So what I did then was you can see the edge there. I got the 7/16 bit, which is a pain because nobody makes 7/16 masonry. So you have to order that special from Home Depot. But it turned out they had them in stock. Just there. You had to dig around to find it. But I made this template, so I set it kind of offset 4 inches and a foot, and then put some holes in here so I could just go down, just kind of find the edge, and then measure one there, drop a hole, go down to the next one, poke a pencil through there, make a hole. Then you drill these out. Just go around, drill. You get concrete dust everywhere. At first I was using a straw and just kind of blowing it out. Don't do that. I found a better way. Get you an old vacuum cleaner. And they have these boba straws that are bigger. You can use a smaller straw too, but just basically turn it on, hold it like that, and push it in the opening. If you drill it out, just go in and out, every one of them, believe me, it'll get every last piece of dust out, and it's better than blowing it out or washing it, because then it's not wet. You don't have a mess. You can even clean up the dust. But here's one I just drilled the upper corner first on this one and stretched it out. You have to anchor the first one and you just put like this on, and then I'm using a 2-part epoxy, but I also have some concrete epoxy. You need to coat the I'm using the anchors that come with they're extra, but I'm mixing up a 2-part epoxy and kind of slathering all around here, and then taking I have a 1/4-inch drive impact here, and the bit. It's got a hex bit. And then you just put the bit in here and just slather around the coat this. Be careful not to get any epoxy down in the screw threads. But if you coat the outside of it, the moderate amount, then just tap con it in with the impact. Oh, here's the bit. It's kind of a funky bit. It's bigger than the hex. Just so you notice there. It's a little bit bigger. So you got to get one of those. And yeah, so basically after you get your corners in, then pull it tight. And I just put my template running down on this one as a 12-foot opening. And this stuff is really nice. I'm gonna, even though I don't think we are gonna be forced to evacuate this time, they issued mandatory, but I don't think it's gonna be done. So I'm gonna kind of probably just leave this up. I really like this covering the window. It's just as sealed as having the door closed, just about. But we'll sink these in every foot. It's good to do one side. And now I watched the Australian, I guess they're Australian, sound like Aussies, crazy people. But what they do is they install the sheet up there. Actually, they install, like on this one, they go around and they make certain that the sheet is gonna fit the opening right, but then they come back in and they just basically install. Sorry, I should have had this. These things kind of click together a little bit. Oh, I got two tops. There's one that's kind of has a thing so the screws don't dig into your wall. It's plastic. But kind of do like this, and then there's these like little tiny washers that you actually install the washer first, and then put this through. And the way they're doing it is go in here and just make this snug. They actually put all of them on their video. You can do that or not do it. It's just as easy to do it one at a time, in my opinion. But you go like this, and now you have it. You just tighten this down, and then there's two starter ones that you can put on. You can kind of pull on this, get it tight, square it off so it looks nice. Then I had a little bit extra left over, so it's kind of like I could fold it back on here. I'm just using standard sizes. I haven't cut one single piece yet. I'm gonna have to cut the front door. The front door was it's kind of a different animal. Let's go take a look at that. Okay, here we go. Front door. This is different. I have to do the angle bit on here. So these are all drilled, vacuumed out. I haven't vacuumed up the dust. So the sheet, these will be installed like that after the anchor is in. And so I can put all these in place. I even put some up here in the wood. This is 50-year-old South Florida pine. Basically like just about as strong as concrete. But I have the holes up at the top and all the way around the edges. On the AstroGuard, they're saying that you have to do two ends on windows, and for lanai and opening, 3, so top and edges. I think you could probably get away with just doing ends on this. I'm going to leave extra material on the bottom because this is kind of a funky size opening due to these skylights. So the 80 by 88 here was too little. So I'm gonna have extra left over because I had to get the 100-inch. So I'm just gonna leave it like as a curtain down there, and then when the bad thing happens and looks like we're gonna get something really strong, then just put sandbags on top of it, because and this will be plenty enough. I've done everything out here. I've gotten, you can see we have these. In my opinion, this is absolutely the best way to go. But in an irregular windows and irregular door sizes, wide openings, these things are just a nightmare to deal with. Family member had 12-foot versions of these, or 10-foot, and anyone that had to deal with that was hating life and swearing over half the time they were dealing with it. Anyhow, these are the best, in my opinion. Steel. I've never had anything actually hit here and go into these. However, I have had items fly and hit our chimney up there and take out 50-cent sized chunks of concrete. I don't know what in the world. That was when Hurricane Jean and Francis. But we look at the ocean as a half mile that way, the Atlantic coast, and we're on the barrier island. So it's usually mandatory evacuation here. But I'm really liking these astroguard items. Tired of having a one-off solution every year and having it be the stress out thing, trying to especially protect the front door, because often I've taken one of those metal items and put it across the front door and screwed it directly into the door. And believe me, when you have 115 mile an hour wind load sustained on a door like this, you need something pretty extreme. You get water coming in everywhere. So now we have the option of putting sandbag behind it or on top of it, which is what we'll do. Anyhow, I really hope this helps someone. Let me know. And this is what I did. I can't have any liability of how you do your install. I will say this: on my hammer drill, when I was drilling out the holes, I had a guide rod that allowed it to stop, so it wasn't going too deep. I recommend finding one of those. It was like a Ryobi electric one. That thing just cuts through here like butter, but I just kind of tap the trigger, on off when I'm drilling. Don't run it wide open, and it tends to make a cleaner hole. But then, with the 2-part epoxy, and then I take a beach towel and just kind of dab around it to get the overrun. You want it enough on there that you get a little bit dripping out. So most of the epoxies are setting up in between 45 minutes to 12 hours, or at least I'll set in 45 minutes and then fully cure within a day. So anyhow, I hope this helps someone, and it's also kind of a record for myself and other family members, so they know how to put these in. Anyhow, good luck with your storm area.